Hello friends, in the previous presentation, we have discussed the concept of institutional management. We have tried to understand how institutional management is important in today's scenario. We have also discussed the scope of institutional management and how management can play a significant role in the growth and development of the institution. In the presentation today, we are going to discuss another important concept, that is of concept of institutional administration. Many authors consider administration and management the same, and others consider these as different. But in the presentation, we will try to find the similarities and the distinctions between the institutional administration and the management as perceived by different authors and institutional parlance. I am sure after going through this presentation, you will be understanding the difference between the two and the similarity points between the two in the institutional parlance, so you can use it in an appropriate way for the growth and development of the institution. Let's first understand the concept of administration, institutional administration. Administration means overall determination of policies, setting up of major objectives, the identification of general purposes, and laying down of broad programs and projects. Literally meaning activities of higher level, including laying down basic principles of institution. This was given by Theo Hammond. On the other hand, management is the process which involves conceiving, initiating, and bringing together the various elements, coordinating, actuating, integrating the diverse institutional components while sustaining the viability of the institution towards some predetermined goals. In other words, management is an art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. Functions of administration are legislative and largely determinative, and those of management are executive and largely governing. Some other authors are of the view that administration involves decision making and policy formulation, while management deals with executive and supervisory work. Management is a generic term for the total process of executive control involving responsibility for effective planning and guidance of the operations of an enterprise. On the other hand, administration is that part of management which is concerned with the installation and carrying out of the procedures by which program is laid down and communicated, and the progress of activities is regulated and checked against plans. Authors such as George Terry, Allen, Coombs, and O'Donnell feel that both the terms mean the same thing. But in general practice, administration is used more in government or other public organizations, while management is used in business world. Let's understand the difference between the two more elaborately based on their functions and applicability. Let's first understand based on the functions. Under this, the meaning of management is an art of getting the things done through and with people by directing their efforts towards achievement of objectives. On the other hand, administration concerns formulation of broad policies, plans, and objectives. Based on the nature, management involves execution, administration involves major decision making. Based on the process, management decides who should do it and how it should be done. On the other hand, administration decides what to do and when to do. Based on the function, management is doing function because managers get work done under their supervision. On the other hand, administration is a thinking function because plans and policies are determined under it. The type of skills required under each are different. Under the concern of management, the human skills and technical skills are required. Under administration, human skills and conceptual skills are required because here decision making and planning is more important. At the level of levels, lower level and middle level function in terms of management and a top level function in terms of administration. This is the thought process of a few authors. On the basis of applicability, management is a broad application to business and profit organizations. On the other hand, administration is applicable to non-profit, non-business organizations. And here in the terms of influence, managers' values, opinions, beliefs, and decisions influence management decisions. On the other hand, in the administration side, Government policies, public opinions, religious beliefs, customs, etc. influence the decisions of administration. Status-wise, paid employees of the organization are constituents of management. On the other hand, administration, owners of the enterprise who earn return on investment and profits represent administration. These are the basis on which the difference of the two can be understood. And I would definitely say management and administration are the terms which are used interchangeably in the educational institution parlance. The difference between the two must be understood based on their principles and their applicability for achieving the goals and objectives of the institution. In most of the cases, these terms are used in synonyms, but they have some differences which must be recognized based on the principles and the applicability principles. Summarizing, I would say management and administration terms are used interchangeably in the educational institute parlance. The difference between the two must be understood based on their principles and their applicability for achieving the goals and objectives of the institution. Although different authors think differently, but their implementation of these two terms is synonymously done in most of the educational institution parlance. I hope you must have understood the difference between the two and how and where the applicability of each one of them is there for the benefit of the educational institution. Thank you very much.